Alright, YouTube. My name's Brandon, and this is going to be my first motovlog. So, I got this motorcycle about a month ago, and I love it so far. This is my very first motorcycle, and it's a 2015 Honda CB 500F. And today I'm just going to talk about the steps I took to start riding and how I chose this bike and a little bit about my gear. So I've always wanted to ride a motorcycle growing up. I'm 23 years old now, and my parents always told me no, they're too dangerous, blah blah blah. And finally I could afford one, so I went out and did my research and got one, got my M1 and everything. So if you're interested in getting, start riding a motorcycle, this video will pretty much go over the steps I took to get mine. And keep in mind when you're watching this that I'm in California, so it may be a little bit different depending on the state that you live in. Step one was to get my M1. So I went to DMV, took my written test, and then I had two options. So if you take the written test, you can go and take the driving test if you already know how to ride. But since I didn't, I was gonna take the motorcycle safety course, which pretty much waives the driving portion. But from what I've heard, the driving portion is pretty easy regardless. But then again, I wanted to learn how to drive my motorcycle before I go out there and, make myself look like a fool on the test. So pretty much I signed up for this online course that is held in Fullerton, California here. So I'll leave a link in the description of which one I chose. I loved it. It's a 3-day course. The first night, you go over the basic rules of the road, how to, what's the stuff on the motorcycle, like where's the turn signal located, where's the engine cutoff switch located, where's the throttle located. And then you do 2 day sessions, which are pretty much all riding, and then you finish off the class. I would say if you've never ridden a motorcycle before like me, it is a great class to take, because it doesn't matter what level you're at right now, but it can improve your skills. I went from not knowing how to ride a street motorcycle at all to feeling very confident when I passed, and I ended up getting 100% on the driving portion of the class, the test. Keep in mind, their test is going to be harder than DMV here in California. DMV, it's kind of like, swerve around some cones and then, do a circle. Theirs involves turning, braking, and swerving. But then again, if you don't feel comfortable passing their test, then you probably shouldn't be riding a motorcycle. It takes a lot of practice. It's kind of like riding a bicycle, because you have to balance the bike. But it is a ton of fun. But again, I would take the class if you're not comfortable at all, because it'll definitely build your confidence. It is a lot of fun. Anyway, so once I did that, I turned in the certificate I got from that class to the Department of Motor Vehicles, or DMV, and got my M1 in the mail. But pretty much how I chose my bike, since this is my very first bike, my dad has a Harley Davidson, so that's more of a cruiser bike. I wanted my bike primarily to drive to work, which is where I'm going right now. What is this guy doing? Trying to get out of the carpool lane because you only have one person, or what? Yep. Anyways, so that kind of threw me off. So I chose this bike because of the price and because of what I wanted it for. Depending on what you're going to use your bike for, like if you want to use it just to go, you know, long distances and for fun, I'd probably stick with a cruiser type bike. So that's more like your Harley's. Honda Rebel is a good starter bike. I chose mine primarily to go to work, like I said earlier. So I wanted like a sport bike or a street, you know, like a full street bike would probably be like the Honda CBR, and then you have like a dirt bike. This is a CB 500F, so it's like a mixture between the both. So it has like a dirt bike look to it, but you sit more upright, which I like. I don't like to lean forward as much. Also, as I was looking, I love Honda. You're not going to break you in the bank compared to like a brand new Harley Davidson. It's going to be 10,000 or more, unless you're going used, of course. But I got this brand new, and I love it. I mean, even though it's 2017, this is a brand new 2015 bike that was never sold, so I got a good deal on it. But I also watched a lot. So I went to the dealership, was going to look at a Honda Rebel 250, and saw the Honda CB 300F, and immediately fell in love with it. It was all black. And then the salesperson said, hey, we have a CB 500F for, you know, $500 more if you're interested. And I was like, oh, let's go take a look. You know, so hopped on the bike. I saw that it was red and white, and my favorite color is red, so I was like, hey, I think this is going to be it. Got on, and here I am, you know, a month later here. But again, you know, I did about a month's worth of research. The thing is, you're going to need gear. I went on Amazon and, you know, just looked at some, you know, starting gear, nothing too fancy. Got this jacket. It's got built-in padding. It has retro-reflective stripes, so I can be seen better at night. Which you'll go over in the motorcycle safety class if you choose to take it here in California. Pretty much the difference between reflective and retro-reflective is reflective kind of, it just reflects light, but the retro-reflective actually kind of shines back at the light, so it's easier to see. But yeah, I got these gloves. I know, pro biker, right? Very cool stuff. They were $9 on Amazon. They're very comfortable, and very breathable, which you want to take into account when you're riding on the very hot days. Today it's a little bit overcast, so it's a little bit cooler, but very breathable gear. And for this helmet, it's a modular helmet, so the front part flips up. And again, I didn't want to go too fancy. I spent about $65 on this helmet. Love it, very comfortable. And then I also wear a mask under the helmet to kind of cut down on the wind coming in. Again, not needed, but just something to make it more comfortable of a ride. But then again, back to my bike. The only thing that's not stock on this bike is this windscreen right here. I got it on eBay, which I'll leave a link in the description. It's I believe it's pronounced Puig. Who knows? I'm just guessing because there's a Dodger player with the same spelling. But yeah, it cuts down on the wind drag that the bike produces. So instead of the wind hitting directly on my chest, it kind of shoots it up above my shoulders. Makes it, again, more comfortable of a ride. Alright, now that I'm pulling up to my exit here for work, I'm going to wrap this video up. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully I can post another video by next week. And I'll be talking about my workplace, which is Disneyland. So if you're interested, I'll be posting that. Hit the subscribe button, the like button, to show your support for me and my motor vlog that I'm just starting, my very first episode. So thanks again, and see you next time.